Welcome into the Rock and Refuel Recruiting Roundup. He's Jason Jewell. I'm Jordan Ham. We're covering everything in the state of Arizona if it's high school football recruiting. And Jason, this week we have a commitment to get to Luke Ashen over at Pinnacle.
Yeah, he's a two-way lineman, plays offensive guard and defensive tackle. Absolutely, really loved his junior film. He really gets after it. He committed to the Ivy League, headed to Princeton over other offers for other Ivy League programs and the University of San Diego. He's a guy 6'2", 265 pounds, and like I always say, big kids that get good grades, they're going to get recruited, they're going to end up playing college football somewhere. So congrats to Luke on his commitment to Princeton.
Now we've seen him on both sides of the football. Where do you see him playing at the next level?
Personally, like right now, I think he's an offensive lineman. I think he's a little bit better there, but you never know. Big kids are hard to find too, so you see that it's a problem all over the country. It's hard to find big defensive linemen as well. So I wouldn't be surprised to see him end up playing defensive tackle, but I think guard is his natural position.
Shifting gears to the offers, we have a 2020 wide receiver over at Hamilton, picks up a big Pac-12 offer.
Yeah, so Oregon comes in and plays Arizona State, and the Ducks are the first to offer Brendan Rice, a sophomore wide receiver over at Hamilton High School. Is a guy, you look at his stats right now, he's averaging over 26 yards per catch, 13 catches, 343 yards, and 3 touchdowns so far for the Huskies. You look at him, he's 6'1", 185 pounds, and gets a huge first offer coming from Oregon.
Jake Smith over at Notre Dame Prep is becoming a weekly resident on the Rock and Refuel Recruiting Roundup. He picks up 2 offers, including a Big Ten offer.
Yeah, seems to be the hottest prospect in the state right now. 5 offers for the junior prospect. His latest offers come from Liberty and from Indiana.
And with our final offer, big Ralph Frias over at Safford picks up another offer.
Yeah, he's 6'7", over 300 pounds, so big is right for him. Multiple mid-major type offers. This one comes from UMass.
And now looking at our player of the week, San Manuel running back Christian Velasquez.
He just absolutely went off. I've never heard of anyone rush for 500 yards, especially on 17 carries. So he rushed for 17 carries, 512 yards, and 9 touchdowns in a game against Tombstone. Obviously, they win putting up big numbers like that. It's a state record and a big-time game for Velasquez.
For those keeping score, that's 30 yards per carry. That's 3 first downs every time he touched the football. Our breakout player of the week, I know that you were over at Saguaro and Sunrise Mountain. A great game, but there was a guy in the Saguaro secondary that caught your eye.
Yeah, I mean, it's really hard to go to Saguaro. They have so many prospects and just look for a guy or pinpoint a guy, but one that stood out to me was sophomore corner Kylie Ringo. He's 6'2", he's 185 pounds. Talking to Jason Mons, he's a transfer in from the state of Washington, already has an offer from Howard, but he's one of the fastest players in the nation. Ran a 10.56 100 meters already, which is absolutely blazing. So big kid, long. He's going to be a national level recruit. I absolutely loved him watching him live.
This week is an interesting week with Yom Kippur. Some schools are playing on Thursday, some playing on Friday, but a lot of really good games. Haley and Eric talked to Coach Prelock over at Notre Dame Prep, where they have a big game against Chaparral, but there were a couple others that we wanted to highlight, including a huge game down in Tucson between Cienega and South Point Catholic.
Yeah, so you're looking at 2 undefeated teams down in Tucson. They're in different divisions, 5A and 4A, but I think that's the game of the week, especially down in Tucson on Thursday night. And then Friday night, there's some big ones as well. One of the oldest rivalries in the state, Cactus and Peoria play each other at Cactus High School. And then St. Thomas Aquinas is going to fly all the way from Florida, and they play at Centennial High School. That's going to be a great one as well.
Plenty of great games this week, plenty of prospects to keep an eye on as the recruiting cycle continues. Keep it right here on the Rock and Refuel Recruiting Roundup on Sports 360 AZ.